Yo, 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 yo,
Yo,
yo,
what's
TTMC,
up?
what it
What's
is,
up?
man?
You know what it is, bro.
It's the Next Level
New
Nation,
Nation
baby.
podcast
Podcast. Ready to
coming
do it
back
one more
again.
time, man. Hey,
Once
y'all, we
again,
have,
man.
man, again.
Again.
Now, if you seen our
Mm,
last podcast, you seen we had
mm.
some fighters on here, man. We
Yeah, we
moving
had
in,
Gabriel
we
Tanner.
moving out and into our realms of things, man. So,
Yeah.
Dirt, come on, tell the people, give a quick little synopsis of what's about to happen, man.
So what's about to happen, guys? We're gonna do another fighter. This time from Jamaica, ChrisAnthony Daley. He's an amazing fighter, amazing coach. Has won a world championship in martial arts. He's going to kind of give us the mindset about being a fighter. We're going to do a rundown on his fight that he has, his last fight. It's going to be amazing. He's going to talk about his background, talk about what he's done, and what he wants to do in the future as well. So, guys, this is a special treat. We don't usually have individuals on here with such character, such integrity, and such actually just a general all-around good guy.
That's
So
what I'm
hey,
talking
without
about.
any
Warming
further
up
ado,
in the back room, in the green room right now. Warming up. Get ready to
yeah,
hit the stage.
yeah.
All right, here we go. Let's go, baby. Yeah. Fight.
Yeah. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
Whoa, Chris, let's go.
Let's go, Chris.
Mm.
What's up,
Hey
man?
guys, what's up? I'm
What's
good.
going
I'm
on?
good. I'm good. My name is Chris Anthony Daley, also known as Moon Rocks. I go by Moon Rocks. I'm good, man. I'm just happy to be a part of this. Really happy to be here. I'm excited to see what you guys have in store for us. What's up? What's going on?
Hey, man. Hey, what's the first rule of Fight Club, bro?
Never talk about Fight Club, bro. Ever.
Yes,
Never, ever,
he
ever.
knows. We tested him
Ever.
backstage.
He knows. He passed the vibe check.
He
Yeah,
Let's
passed it
go.
man.
because I was gonna tell him the answer. I was like, yo, because Chris, how old are you?
I'm 23, 24 in June.
Because Fight Club was filmed a long time ago. So the
Dude,
fact that
I,
you
I
know,
I'm actually into film, so I watched a lot of like movies
okay,
for school. Yeah, so like my dad is into film too, so like I know a lot of my dad's a movie head, so we watched a lot of movies, especially my childhood.
okay, dope, dope,
Yeah,
Dope.
man,
dope. Without any further ado, man, let's get into it, bro.
let's do it.
Let's do it. So, bro, like for instance, you're a fighter. I know you from Freddie Marfort's training. Met you there. I seen that eventually you came in there. You were doing amateur stuff before. Now you're doing professional fighting at this point, correct?
So I'm still an amateur.
Okay.
I plan to have a bit more time in the amateurs. I did take a break from fighting for like a year and a half
Mm-hmm.
because of home life situations. So I didn't
Mm-hmm.
get to fight as much as I wanted to between the end of my last fight before the previous one that we're going to discuss was in 2022. So it took me
Okay.
like 2 years to fight again. It took me a while. So I have a couple more fights in the amateurs, but the
Mm-hmm.
plan is to go pro in 2026. So the goal is end of 26 is when I take my first pro fight.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice.
man.
And bro, let me ask you one thing. Like, how did you even form all this? Give us a small background of you coming here. Like, what's your background? How'd you get here? How'd
Yeah,
you
where
come
you
to the
from,
mindset of
man?
wanting to be a fighter?
What's going on?
Okay. Okay. So essentially, I was born in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. My mom and dad are from Jamaica. So when I was born, they kind of took me back home. That's a long story, but they took me back to Jamaica, and I lived there my entire life. Now I did karate at like 5 or 6, and then I stopped. And I picked up fighting again in high school because I went to do Taekwondo. Most of my friends did it. I tried every single sport you could think of. Like I did track and field, I did football. I was horrible at every single sport. And it's also I didn't like team sports because it's like I had to rely on other people
Yeah.
in order to be successful. So it was like people wouldn't pass me the ball, or if it was track and field, I just didn't like running for long periods of time. Like it felt stupid.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
my friends did taekwondo, and I
Uh-huh.
went and I got my ass beat. But then it was
Wow.
like, yo, this is fun. Like I enjoy this. So I kept going and going and going, and then eventually I made it to the Jamaica national team.
Mhm.
Traveled, did U.S. Open. They brought ISKA came to Jamaica for 1 year's World Championships. That's 2018. That's when I
Mhm.
won my World Championship at kickboxing. I won an amateur medal, gold medal in kickboxing.
Wow,
Whoa,
nice.
that's wild. So, what country gave you your toughest fight?
Definitely America. So my record in Jamaica currently is, well, we don't count. I've had over 50 like amateur kickboxing bouts because they're tournaments. So it's like you fight one guy, then you fight two guys, or then you fight one guy, then you fight another guy, then you're in the final and you fight that one guy in the final, or you fight like 10 dudes in one day. So I don't really count those, but my first official fight was in, I want to say 2019,
Mhm.
and it was boxing because I had broken my leg. Like a bike hit me, a motorbike hit me.
Oh
Um,
wow.
Ooh.
yeah, bro,
Oof.
in like February of 2020, right before COVID. So then COVID happened,
Mhm.
and then I just wanted to fight. I couldn't
Mhm.
kick, but I could
Mhm.
box. So I just started working on my boxing.
Mhm.
Um, I did I did get my ass beat in Jamaica too. I fought a national boxing
Yeah.
champion. Yeah, dude, my first time boxing ever. I fought a national boxing champion in a ring made of
Mhm.
wood in the middle of a community at
Really?
night one time. Yeah, I
Mhm.
got stopped twice. The first time
Wow.
I got stopped, the ref was like, "Yeah, we're not gonna allow you to stop." So then they let me go again. And then I got finished two times in the same fight. But that was my first
Wow.
time boxing. Yeah, it didn't
Uh-huh.
go on my record because we were in the ghetto, we're boxing. But then my first real amateur
Mhm.
fight was against Siobhan Hawken, and I won that fight by unanimous decision. In That was the end of 2020. So my record unofficially, because they don't count the ones in Jamaica, I have two wins in Jamaica. My second fight was, I believe, 2021 in about March or February, and I won that fight by TKO in the third round.
Mhm.
I broke that guy's ribs, like he was fucked up. That was a
Wow.
good fight. Yeah,
Ooh.
that was a good one. But those fights, I wouldn't necessarily call them hard. Like they weren't difficult fights.
Mhm.
My hardest fight to date, bro, probably my second fight here.
Mhm. Mhm.
I still have yet to win a fight in the judges' eyes here. My
Mhm.
first fight here, I lost by split decision because I went
Mhm.
up. So in Jamaica, I fought at 125 pounds, and when I
Okay.
moved here, I gained a lot of weight. I didn't know how
Mhm.
to cut weight, so Freddie was
Okay.
like, "Hey, you can fight at
Mhm.
150." Fought a
Yeah.
guy at 150. He was
Mhm.
cutting weight from like 180 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah. So we had a war. That was 3 rounds. I didn't win the
Uh-huh.
decision. Second fight, I got
Okay.
stopped, unfortunately. That was
Mhm.
my hardest fight. Um,
Yeah.
Kaiser Espinosa, that guy's really good. He's actually
I've heard of him.
currently today. Yeah, Kaiser's fighting like today. Like he's fighting somebody today. I'm a big fan
Okay.
of that guy.
Okay.
Really good, really great gym, great competitor. Bro, that guy has like 40 something fights. He just turned 18. I think he's like 19 or 20 now, but I fought
Wow.
him when he just turned 18. He had a
Mhm.
lot of fights at the time.
Mhm.
Definitely I wasn't training well
Mhm.
enough. I was kind of brushing him off in my mind, like, oh, this is gonna be oh, he's a debut because he was 0-0. It's like, oh, he's debuting. So I
Okay.
didn't take it seriously, and I paid the price for that, bro. I got cooked. Like I got cooked. I didn't get dropped or anything or rocked, but what
Mhm.
ended up I got kneed in the face
Woo.
by accident. Yeah, it's
Okay.
amateurs, so you can't knee to the face in amateurs. But I
Yeah.
got kneed in the face, and
Mhm.
I remember like the referee parted it. He said, "Hey, you can either stop the fight, you're gonna win by DQ." So I would have
Mhm.
won by disqualification, which nobody wants to win like that.
Nobody wants that anyways. Yeah.
Um, and he was looking tired, bro. I'd never been rocked before like that in my life, so I decided, all right, fuck it. So I was looking at him and he looked tired. I was like, yo, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. Because I just wanted to go
Wow.
back in there and just do the fight. Dude, once the referee said fight, couldn't feel my
Yeah.
legs. I got punched and kicked and kneed, and then the round ended, and the referee came and he asked me if I was okay.
Mhm.
And I told him no. I was just being honest with him. I was like, no, I'm not good. I'm getting
Yeah.
cooked.
Yeah.
And he called a fight. So he called a fight at the end of the second round. So I
Mhm.
lost that fight.
Wow. So you could have actually got that fight
Yeah,
if
if I
you
hadn't
decided
told
to
him,
go
yeah,
back. right?
I think about that sometimes. Yeah, I think about that sometimes because
That's
I actually
crazy.
I started to catch my flow a little bit. So the
Uh-huh.
way the second round ended was I threw a head kick and it landed, and then
Mhm.
he threw an overhand, hit me hard, and I was still
Ooh,
rocked. So I
yeah.
just went to the cage like this, and I was blocking, and then
Mhm.
the round ended, and I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Ref was like, "Are you good?" And I looked at him, I was like, "Nah, bro, like I'm cooked." Like, and then he was
I'm
like,
not
"Time's
good
up."
at all.
Boom. I didn't know he was gonna stop the fight though. I really didn't. I didn't
Uh-huh.
know that's why he was asking me. I wasn't
Uh-huh.
like paying attention really. I was kind of just like in the moment, kind of like in the zone, and I heard somebody say, "Are you okay?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
"No, like, no.
I'm
Did you
not
see
okay.
that? I'm
Hurt.
getting cooked."
Not
Like,
okay.
yeah. And then
Ooh.
my last fight
Mhm.
was the one you guys have footage of. That one is a
Yeah.
draw. I
Mhm.
now do I agree with the judges? Absolutely not, but
No, absolutely not.
I can
Huh.
see why they would say it's a draw.
Let
I just have to do a better job not
Mhm.
leaving it up to the judges, which is the game plan for the next one. April 5th, we're
Mhm.
back again.
Mhm.
I want to knock somebody out.
yo TTMT. Let's see what this fight, man, that he's talking about, man.
Yeah, let's
Let's
pull up
let's
the
let's
footage,
get,
man.
let's get straight into it, man.
Pull up
Let's
the
do it,
footage.
man.
Let's go.
We're gonna go into it. We're gonna hit the screen real quick. Hopefully, hopefully. Hold on. It's gonna be a little loud at first, y'all. Tell-
All right, he's keeping you.
Oh.
Oh, whoa! Kick to the
I
head.
kicked I kicked to the
Oh,
head.
okay.
I,
Wow. Okay, he's getting weak on the legs. Man,
Knee, oh my goodness. Look
oh,
at the knee.
how you avoid
Nobody
that,
saw
bro?
that, bro. Nobody saw the
Bro,
knee in the corner right there, bro.
oh my gosh.
Stop. Hook, bang, bang. One,
Man,
two, right
that
over the
you
top.
receive that a lot.
Flying
Man,
knee,
you
front
avoid that.
kick.
Oh, he tweaked him right into the what's it called. Wow.
oh,
Trying to hit those knees. Wow.
so like right here. What you think? What do you
Oh,
think about after
he's
you do
back
that?
fist.
I'm not gonna lie. What you say after I do that, or
Yeah, after you do like the spinning punch.
Spinning back
more
fist.
so like I'm thinking about how I missed. Like I'm like, damn, I can't believe I missed that.
I know.
It's like I
Okay.
And
needed that to land.
this dude hit like really hard. Like so,
You look like
this is the second round, brother. I got hit super hard. The game plan for me was first round take it simple, second round start having some fun. But I couldn't give myself the time to just have fun because I was too focused on not like getting hit. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
because he
Mm-hmm.
was coming as aggressive as you were. But you were coming in
Yeah.
there like you were getting in there.
Dude,
Oh
that
wow,
spinning head
spinning
kick,
back
Oh,
kick.
oh,
I'm
oh, oh.
so
Oh,
fucking mad that shit missed. Dude, I was
bro, that
really
would
in
have
there
been
though. Like
bad.
I was focused.
Yeah, I
And
can
the
see that.
rope,
But he was coming in
did you
hard.
see the rope stop my punch over there, bro?
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
it's small moments like that
Oh,
super
Oh,
important.
oh,
time to
that
take it.
knee. Oh gosh,
Time to go in. Oh, oh,
he
Yep.
was
oh,
coming though.
One
He
thing
was
is I
coming
gave him
hard.
too much space to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
gave
he
him
was
too
coming
much
pretty
space
hard
to
at you.
work. Yeah, man.
yeah. It was tough.
Like he was a little tough, bro. I mean, we didn't have the other footage, but we do actually have it, but we didn't point it out. There's another section that you got rocked a little bit in the beginning, the first round. He actually knocked you down. How did you feel, bro, when that happened?
So it's funny you asked that because it was less scary than I thought it would have been. Cause
Uh-huh.
so funny, I was backstage and I punched myself. You know, like when you're warming up and you kind of like
Yeah.
you punch yourself. I punched myself and I kind of rocked myself backstage.
Uh-huh.
Like I
Uh-huh.
felt like I saw stars for a second. I was like, that's not good.
Wow.
Because I
Uh-huh.
had a weight cut. So I cut weight, but I don't think I hydrated properly.
Mhm.
And I remember hitting myself and going, that's not good. But it's like,
Mhm.
fuck it. You know what I mean? We'll just go anyway. And
Yeah.
when he hit me with that shot, it was the same feeling.
Uh-huh.
Um, but it was more like a shocking, wow, what the fuck was that? And I took a knee because he
Yeah.
kept swinging, like he was swinging as I was
Yeah.
trying to defend myself, and I didn't want to take
Mhm.
any unnecessary damage. So I took a
Yeah.
knee. I looked at my coach and I looked at Freddie, and Freddie immediately said to me, like, you're fine. Like he's like, you're fine.
Mhm.
take the 8 count, and
Uh-huh.
just get back to work. So as soon as
Yeah.
like the 8 count ended,
Mhm.
took a deep breath, and I
Mhm.
just went back to work. That was really it. Like it, you can't really fixate on it in that moment because then you're
Mhm.
gonna start fighting scared. And I couldn't really afford. I was kind of fighting scared.
Mhm.
More I rewatch it, there were
Mhm.
opportunities that I had that I didn't take. But
Mm.
those are things that come with the game. You know what I mean? Learning the experience, which is why we're still amateur and not pro, right?
I got you.
I'm telling you.
Yep.
You got something?
Yeah. But it was more so like we're talking about being scared and whatnot, and I'm
Mhm.
just some people just think this is like a super violent sport, or you're a violent person because this
Mhm.
is the sport you like to do. What do you say to those people? What do you say to those people who feel like it's just all violence?
Dude, so a big part of fighting is the respect.
Mhm.
And
Right.
most fighters, like you find most fighters don't actually get into fights on the streets like that.
Yeah.
Mm,
They're the most peaceful people because we know what comes with it. Like they're people that get paid to get hurt, and we
Mhm.
understand the amount of damage you can take. So fighters don't typically go out of their way looking to cause harm to
Mhm.
another person because we know what it feels like to get hit. We know what
True.
it feels like to be in
Yeah.
certain spots in certain situations. And it's like at the end of most fights,
Mhm.
especially the hardest ones, you'll see people hug each other, bro. This
Yeah.
isn't a sport where it's malicious. We're both using techniques we've been taught to the best
mm,
of our ability, and it's
Mhm.
disrespectful to almost not try to knock the other person out because we both sign up. Yeah, we both
yeah.
sign up to
You sign
battle,
up for
bro.
this.
This is
Yeah.
we
We
sign
signed
up to
up to
this.
show our extent of our skills.
Yep. So
Yeah.
I don't want somebody taking it easy on me. Like if I lose this fight, I want it to be because I
Mhm.
wasn't able to capitalize on my skill. That's why you can't really blame anybody for your losses. Like, yeah, we
Mhm.
have to like between me and you, we have to make excuses as fighters. It helps our mentality. Like you have to
Yeah.
kind of let it bounce off. You make a little excuse, you know what I mean, and then
Mhm.
get back to the
Mhm.
gym and work harder. But it's
Yeah.
like you can't focus too much on um oh, like I this guy did that and that's why I didn't
Mhm.
win. No, you should have been prepared for whatever it was that that guy was doing. So
True.
yeah, it's one of those sports where it's mostly about introspection, looking at yourself and fighting in general. Like life is a fight. I think fighting
True.
is the realest sport because life in itself is a fight. We just do it to the actual physical. We just do
Yeah.
the physical aspect of it. Yeah, it's modern day. It's like being a modern day samurai. You know what I mean? You live by the sword, you
Yeah.
die by the sword, man. Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this question, Chris. So I asked Gabe and Tanner this question. I want to find out what your reaction is too. Like,
Oh,
what
snap.
do you do when you're in a situation where somebody is approaching you physically, trying to be aggressive? You don't know what they have. You don't know what their experiences is. Has that happened to you? And what was your response?
So being from Jamaica, yes, that this has happened to me on multiple occasions. Like
Mm,
actually a lot. Um, there's different scenarios. Like if it's one guy, and it's me and you,
mm,
not gonna lie, I'm a little bit of a crash out. So I'll give you the opportunity to leave me alone. So I'll say,
yeah.
hey, listen,
Mm,
I don't really want to get into confrontation with you. I
mm,
will try to leave the situation. That's the easiest way is you just try to walk away from it.
yeah.
But once you're walking away, if they choose to escalate,
Mm,
lock in. Bow, bow, bow. You
yeah.
also have to assess, does he have weapons? I've been held
True.
up before by fake guns,
Mm,
and a knife. And one thing I will say is I've ran from encounters like as a fighter. Like I've been walking down the street in Jamaica and like I've seen a guy across the street looking at me a certain way and he's walking towards me. And then I
yeah.
look beside me and one of his friends is right here and his friend will grab me and I just slip my hand out, start running, and I run as fast as I can and I don't look back. Like there's no giving it a second chance. There's no stopping to fight. Nah,
Mm,
I'm probably not
interesting.
going to win that. I'm not gonna
And
win
it's,
that, bro. It's two dudes. It's the
I
middle of the
mean,
night.
Nah, you're not gonna
I
make
mean,
it
the
out
thing
of that.
about it is, couldn't you just take that guy hostage, like break his leg, and his friend would freak out? Like, you know what I'm saying? I
So
mean, there's so many things you could do.
the thing is, I don't know how many of them there are. It might be I see two, but there's
Yeah,
five, six. Because
that's
so
true. Right.
I've been with a group of my friends in high school.
Mm,
I was doing taekwondo at the time, so it's not like as intensive as kickboxing and MMA. But I
Mhm.
did ITF Taekwondo, so we did punching, we did kicking, we did like escaping self-defense situations. I
Mhm.
was walking with a group of friends. I think it was like five of us,
Mhm.
and there was a rivalry going on with a different school. And that happens in Jamaica a lot, where a school nearby, they might have beef with some gang from my school, and so they take
Mhm.
it out on everybody from that school. So
Yeah.
I'm walking
Wow.
home with a group of my friends, and
Mhm.
we see like three dudes in the middle of the road from a different school. We're
Mhm.
peaceful. I've never engaged in that kind of shit. So we're just trying to walk past, like, bro, we don't see you, you don't see us. I just want to go home. The three
Mhm.
guys, they come approach us. Now it's five of us. I'm the only one in the group that does any form of combat training. Everybody
Mhm.
else freezes. And I
Mhm.
immediately started telling them, like, yo, listen, we don't really want trouble. Two of them come approach me. So
Mhm.
I immediately put my hands up. I'm getting ready to defend myself. I didn't do any cool shit. Like the coolest thing I did was I pushed one guy, other
Mhm.
one grabbed me, and I elbowed him in the chest. And by the time I was getting ready to start throwing punches and stuff,
Uh-huh.
um, the other two dudes had called some other guys. So now it was like 10 guys from the other
Ah,
school, five
Wow.
of us. And they grabbed one of my friends, just like five guys grabbing one guy, and they ripped his pants open and took his phone, his money. All my other friends started running. I'm surrounded by two dudes right here, so I'm looking out for myself, and then everybody starts running. So the two guys that were with me started running. I go check on my friends. He's like, I got robbed. I was like, damn. Um, Not really much I could have done about that. You know what I mean?
You
I've
know what I
been.
you know what I
What were
always
you about
feel
to
like,
say?
Chris, in those situations? I
what?
feel like if you brutally hurt that first guy, like really hard, like completely decimate him, everybody else would be
Mhm.
scared. Like I feel like
Ye- Nah. So
you don't
adrenaline
think
is one
so?
of those things because there's people have different reactions to things. There's fight, flight, or freeze, and like
True.
typically, I don't know what another person's reaction is. If you have enough confidence to try to rob me,
Yeah.
then you're probably
You
prepared
probably
for what
oh
comes with that.
yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
If it's a group of dudes, bro, and
Mhm.
I fuck up, that's like if I beat your best friend up in front of you. You're not gonna let that slide. Like it's even if you're scared, you're gonna throw something, you're gonna jump on top of me, and it's like I can't redirect people mid-air while fighting somebody else off. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like
It sounds like it's gonna
You
just make
gotta
it
be
worse.
more
yeah, it really
If
does make it
anything,
worse.
if anything, you
Like
just pissed off a lot of other people.
now, if
yeah.
you don't have a choice, if you don't have a
You
choice,
have a
what
question.
my coaches told me is you back yourself up to a wall because you
Mhm.
don't want to allow yourself to be surrounded. Um,
True. Mhm.
that's when you get into problems. If you back yourself up to a wall, or if you can narrow down the area they have to attack you from, then you
Mhm.
can see it and you can do as much as you can. Once you
Mhm.
get underground, though, you're cooked. Because if it's just you and it's a group of dudes, people are
Yeah.
curb stomping you, people are kicking you on the floor, they're throwing stuff on top of your head,
Mhm.
all of that good
Oh,
stuff.
Dirk, that sounds like some cool Steven Seagal type stuff
That's all
that
I
you
was
do,
thinking about.
like some investigator,
I mean,
equalizer type stuff.
if you
Knock yourself,
like, I
knock
mean,
that person out.
theoretically, right? Like, if you hit somebody hard enough, you could like scare other people. Like, whoa, 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 I don't want none of that or whatever that guy has. But I think that's only for situations where it's like people are a little bit inebriated. Somebody's trying to push like
Yeah.
violence to a certain extent. But in a case where it's life and death and somebody's coming to rob
Yeah.
you and take what you have, they're probably
Yeah.
prepared to die in that moment. They probably don't have that much to lose. Yeah, I mean,
True.
I
And
think
they
that
probably, and
only
if they're
goes
Jamaican
for
too, it makes a difference too. They're Jamaican.
dude,
It makes a
exactly,
big
bro.
difference.
They don't care about nothing, bro. They
Jamaicans are a little
listen.
different too.
I'm not gonna
My
lie.
mom's
I've robbed
Jamaican.
somebody before. I've robbed somebody before, bro.
You've robbed
It
somebody
takes a
before.
yeah, man. Yeah, man. High school. I did it for a very stupid reason. Please don't judge me. I had a girlfriend, and her grandma
Mhm.
died, and her birthday was coming up. I didn't have any
Mhm.
money, bro. And I put on
Ooh,
a hoodie, got me a little bandana, and I got a spoon. Tucked the
you're like
spoon
Mike
in my
Tyson
hoodie.
right now.
Yeah,
You
bro.
robbed me.
Took the spoon like this, put the spoon in
Uh-huh.
my hoodie like this.
Uh-huh.
Just walked up behind somebody, you poke them, say,
Mhm.
yo, just give me everything. And they just kind of drop what they have and they run away, and you just kind of like let them run. You grab it and then
That's
you run in the
amazing.
opposite direction. Yeah.
I've never robbed
Yeah.
anybody. Have
Yeah,
you
no.
robbed anybody?
Not Not a person, no.
Dude,
Not a person.
it was
Maybe
it
not
was
a
one of the
person.
But
Maybe
I'm
stupidest
not
things I've
joking.
ever done in my life.
That's what
Like
it's.
I regret
that's
doing it every day because it was somebody younger than me too. Like it was one of those high risk, low reward, stupid things that I would never. I was like 17. I'll never do that again, ever, ever, ever. It was a horrible decision. I got away with it though, but
at least you learn from your mistake. You recognize
Yeah,
100%.
that situation, right?
nah, he didn't turn it into a business venture and start keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? It was like,
Yeah,
Exactly. He
dude.
didn't continue
I'm
doing it.
like, this is
That's a
me.
good aspect of it. I would have never known that, Chris. You didn't say anything. I was
Dude,
like,
so a lot of people don't know. It's kind of funny. Like, you guys might have a crazy podcast episode because I've done some crazy shit in my life. A lot of
let us
people don't
know.
know.
Let's go to T.
Damn. What kind of tea do I have
What
for
is
you
the
guys?
craziest thing you've ever done besides robbing
Wow.
somebody?
Wow, he said
What's the
crazy.
craziest thing I've ever done?
Let's warm up. Already,
That's a good question.
let's warm into it.
Yo, one day my parents gonna see this like, what?
What?
My
Like
son
what?
did that? What?
And nothing to incriminate you. The police will watch this and be like, "Hey,
I
you
mean,
gotta get
none
out."
of it, I can't really go to jail for any of it. Some of it was illegal stuff, but I did that when I was in Jamaica in high school. And it's not like super illegal. Like I've never killed anybody in my life.
Well, at
I've
Okay.
least
never,
thank you.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
be
don't
yeah,
there.
tell
I've
us that.
never,
Anyway, we will.
I've never broken into anybody's house or anything like that.
Okay.
Like robbing somebody is probably the most
Mhm.
criminally illegal thing I've ever done. I didn't know who the person was. I never saw them again. It was the middle of the night. Like it was late after school. I had a spoon. I didn't even have a weapon. Like, you know what I mean? It was one off. But it's the craziest thing I've ever done, bro. When I was in high school, I made a YouTube video about this one time, but when I was in high school, I it was my birthday. I had started smoking weed at 16,
Mm-hmm.
and I had a friend of mine, not really a good influence, but he was older than me, and he baked a batch of edibles for my birthday. So I was at
Okay.
school one day. He had just got expelled, I think, and
Mhm.
he came down to school with a pink igloo filled with edible brownies, and he gave them to me, and he said,
Mhm.
"Make some money."
Uh,
I said, "Okay." Sold
okay.
some edibles at school that day. Everybody got super high to the point where the school had kind of like a lockdown, where they were like,
Wow.
yeah, the teachers were walking around trying to figure out like where it came from, and like everybody's too high to even like communicate that right now.
You got the whole school high.
And dude, one of my
It's high
friends
school
was
for real.
super high, bro, and she
High
came and
school high.
yeah, bro. The teacher came and she came to our group because she like we were nerds. I was able to get away with most of the stuff because I was a nerd. Like I played video games. I didn't look like the type of guy that did any of this stuff. I was always very vocal. I spoke to teachers. I was just that guy.
Mhm.
And she came up and she said, "Guys, are you guys high?" And I'm like, "No, I'm good. Like I'm chilling." You know what I mean? Which was probably a giveaway, right?
I don't know
Like,
about him, but
Yeah,
why are
you,
you
yeah.
guys
me,
not high?
I'm good.
No, I'm not
But
high.
my friend was high, and she took
Yeah.
him into the office because he was like freaking out, and he was doing a bunch. He was sweating a lot, and then he started crying when she came to talk to us. So she took him downstairs, and we were panicking, bro.
What?
We were
Oh God.
panicking. And
Mm,
then she came back upstairs with him, and she was like, "Chris, can I speak to you for a second?"
mm,
I was like, "Oh my God, like it's over for me." So I'm talking to her, and she
mm.
goes, "Yeah, you need to look after him because I think his girlfriend broke up with him. I think he was telling me."
Ah,
I was like, "Yeah, okay, yeah, no, I'll talk to him."
Yes, yes, he
But
did.
yes.
the day after, I had one brownie left, and that was for me. And the day after, I was the only person that took an edible, and we didn't remember this, but that morning we had general devotion. So the entire school had to meet in the chapel, and we all had to like do worship together. And it was an Anglican Catholic school, so very religious. And while we were there, I got super high. I was the only high one, like everybody else was sober. And our dean, his name was Father P, Father Powell. He came in and he was talking. You know what a kitchen bitch is?
No.
A kitchen bitch? I don't remember if it's a knife or if it's a type of lamp, but they had a name for something and they called it a kitchen bitch. But
Mm-hmm.
when Father P said kitchen bitch, I'm high, right? So he goes kitchen bitch, and I'm like, yo, like you can't say that in church, bruh. And everybody was like, oh my God, like he's about to get us in trouble. Like, and then he's like, yo, it's a kitchen bitch. And I'm like, bro, just call it by its proper name. And then they're like, yo, like chill, chill, chill. And I'm like, nah, bro, like he's calling it a kitchen bitch in church. Like Jesus would be mad about that, bro. Like, and like the teachers are like, the thing
Jesus
is, like, I kind of had a troubled home life. So the teachers thought I was just being a troubled kid, you
being a
know?
trouble kid at the time.
Mhm.
Um, and then the principal came up to the podium and
Mm.
he's looking dead in my face. Like he's making eye contact with me. And he goes, so we've heard that there's like a marijuana epidemic going around. Bro, I'm high. Yo, I'm high and I immediately sit up. Like I go like this. Weed? Like, what's this guy talking about? I don't even know what weed looks like, bro. Like, what's this guy talking about? He's staring at me the whole time. And
Mm.
he's like, we're gonna be searching everybody before they leave this chapel today. Now, luckily, I had already ate my edible. You get what I'm saying? But I'm still
Entire
panicking.
thing.
Like, I'm looking around, like I'm looking through my bag, like, yo, do I have any illegal shit in here? I didn't smoke weed at the time yet. So I was just an edible guy. I didn't have any weed. I didn't have anything in my bag. Like it was clean.
Wow.
But I'm in there
Mm.
panicking, like, bro, they're about to search me and they're about to find out I'm super high right now. And I leave the chapel. I remember going to my first class, took a nap, and then I woke up and it was the end of the school day, bro. I slept for
Wow.
like 7 hours. Yeah, I slept for 7 hours in the same class. Nobody woke me up. There were multiple classes in that room. Nobody woke me
Really?
up. Yeah.
That's
My friends
crazy.
came, like they were looking for me, they couldn't find me, and somebody said, check the class. Dude,
Mm.
when somebody told me I slept for the whole day,
Mm.
I panicked because it was like I fell asleep at maybe like 10 a.m. School ends
Mm.
at 3:30 p.m., bro. I slept from 10 a.m. That's like
Wow.
7 hours, bro. Yeah.
Jeez.
I think
Wow.
that's probably,
That's a good edible.
yeah, man. That,
That's a good
bro, yo, we turned that into a business, bro. I was making edibles up until pre-university, bro. We were doing it, bro.
That's
That was a
crazy.
thing. Yeah,
Talk
man.
That's
about
crazy.
businesses, man. In the questionnaire, you talk about certain principles that coaches taught you and went forth. What's one of the biggest principles that you still live by till from today till today?
Um, well, there's a lot. I would say one of my coaches named Jermaine, my first Taekwondo coach, he used to tell me that pain is weakness leaving the body.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just something I kind of think about all the time. I think it helps me push through just all kinds of adversities. Like whenever you're experiencing pain, it's good because it means that you're moving forward towards something that's important, or at least you're being shown something that you need to work on. So I would say pain is weakness leaving the body is one of the things I live by. And also, Cheyenne Blake, he was my, still to this day is, I still call him one of my coaches, but he's my kickboxing coach, the guy that taught me everything I know about boxing and kickboxing.
Mm.
He, well, I can't say everything because I have Freddie, but he gave me the foundation. I would say one of the drills, or not drills, one of the things he instilled in me is kind of like a type of obsession. Like you have to be obsessed and you have to believe that you are the best. Like you just
Mm.
have to. Like, because the moment doubt starts to creep in your mind, you've already lost. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you have to be insane to the point where you're almost a little bit insufferable. Like
Mm.
Mm.
you have to train harder than everybody else. You have to believe you work harder than everybody else. You have to do things differently from people. Um, yeah, man, just he used to scream, "Welcome to the Forge." We had a workout called the Forge, and he would scream, "Welcome to the Forge." And he's like, "This is where men come to be made into weapons." You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
that was, yeah, bro. That was the mindset that we had in that gym. And that's kind of how my style is built. It's kind of like swing or get swung, bro. You know what I mean? We fight. We're fighting, we're fighting. Smooth brain. That's another one. Smooth brain. Smooth brain simply means
Mm.
ignorance is bliss. What you don't know can't hurt you. So
True.
I don't believe in my opponents. 'Cause they can't hurt me.
Ooh, I
Yeah,
like it.
man. Yeah, man.
Put it on a shirt.
Now I'm
I
asking
don't.
you this, Chris. When it comes down, what's the fight? I see you sometimes in class. You're like, you'll quote Sun Tzu, like Art of War and things like that. What's your mentality? What does it take to be like a warrior mentality to fight in these situations? Like even just leading up to the World Championship, how did you get yourself prepared for that? What did you need to do mentally as well as physically to get prepared for that fight to win that
So
championship?
that's a great question because as I prepare for this next fight too, I'm kind of asking myself the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
The fighter's mentality is, I think not many people are able to talk about the vulnerable side of it, but it's scary, bro. Like I'm the type of
Yeah.
fighter where I think I've always been scared to fight. Um, Not scared as in I'm not gonna do it, but scared as in like it's a very jarring thing to do. And maybe
It
I just need
is.
to do it a bit more to where like, it's like another day in the office. But
Yeah.
the mentality of preparing for it is kind of like preparing yourself to die. Um,
Mm.
Mm.
like I'm preparing myself to potentially go face a life-threatening injury. Now, obviously, you don't want
True.
to think about that, but
Yeah.
you have to be prepared to kind of put yourself on the line. Corey, one of our coaches, Corey would often say you can't care about yourself too much as a fighter.
Mm.
Because
Mm.
then you start making mistakes. You start worrying too much about yourself instead of thinking about what you can do to win the fight. So
Mm.
as your fight camp progresses, as I progress through this fight camp, and every single time I have to fight, and I know I have to fight, you prepare and condition your mind to not care too much about yourself in the sense of like what will happen to you. Like it's
Mm.
okay. Whatever happens
Self-preservation.
will happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be very accepting and appreciative of the function of your body, bro, and prepare yourself for war. The art of war, I'm really into philosophy and I've read Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. I've read the Book of Five Rings. I've read The Art
Mm.
of War. I've read the Tao Te Ching. I've read
Mm.
Proverbs in the Bible maybe like 4 times. Like I'm very into philosophy and understanding the human experience. And I think that's also why I fight because as terrifying as it is, I feel the most alive when I
Mm.
compete. Like I'm able to learn more about myself
Mm.
when I compete, when I train. So the mindset of it really is the same mindset you would have waking up knowing you're going to have a hard day of life. Just preparing yourself.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I mean, just like in life, like you wake up, you're about to go on the road, you could die in a car crash right now. You might not want to
True.
go to work, but you have to do it. And you have to
Yeah.
find a way to make it positive. So yeah, fighting for me is it's like an expression of art. It's who you are. It's an expression of yourself. It's your art, martial art. It's the art of the law that governs you, basically.
Do you feel like that's an expression also of your anger? Like, how is that another place where you're channeling your anger? In essence, that's what I feel it's for me. Like in
Mm,
my past, it just comes to the forefront now. It's in a
hmm
positive place as a human being, but I feel like all my anger, my frustrations, they go into martial arts, and it just goes into a positive place where it just kind of dissipates after a while. So I
hmm
don't really have to be angry outside of that because all my anger is directed or focused on trying to get rid of it. Really, how do you feel about it? You think it's an expression of your anger?
I used to fight from a place of anger, and I would say that I would consider myself I was a different fighter when I was angry. Like it was I felt like I had something to prove to people and there was like a chip on my shoulder and I would use it as an outlet for the frustrations I had every day. But after I took a break from it and I did some things in my personal life and I kind of like did some training like outside of just like martial arts like I did work experience and just regular everyday stuff. I realized that like I don't feel as good when I train from a place of emotion. Like I do it for
Mm,
fun strictly, and it's like just for the
yeah.
fun of it, the art. It's like I draw. I don't draw from a place of anger necessarily. It's
Mm,
still an expression of emotion. So I guess if you are angry then and you express it through that art form, then it will come out
mm,
that way. But I find that it's just an expression of emotion, plain and simple. So it can be angry sometimes, but I don't want it to
mm,
come from a place of anger. I think I prefer to just train because I like learning more about it. And I also
mm.
I fight now for my students because I coach now too, which makes it
Okay.
hard for me to be angry about, what I mean, like I tell people not to be emotional when they spar and when they train. So it's
Yeah.
hard for me to be angry when I spar and when I fight. So I fight now because I have to make sure that whatever I'm teaching, I've been able to use it to
Mm,
success.
yeah.
I because I can't really tell you that this is gonna work if I don't use it, right? Like it, because
Right.
True.
I fight to win. I do. I fight to win and to make some money and to prove to myself that I'm capable of doing the things that I want to do with my life. But I also fight to show my students that, hey, coach kind of knows what he's talking about, you know? Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's it.
Expression, man.
Mhm.
Speaking of expressions, man, let's go a little deeper into this, man. I was reading some of your backstory, man, and just wanted to get into like what from the questionnaire. It says that you have been homeless, to being motherless. I sympathize and empathize with you on that.
Yeah.
Um, do you ever feel like you use any of? Are there any lessons to be learned from experiencing these types of things from,
Um,
from your point of view?
yeah, yeah, 100%. So I've kind of had like a really crazy run. So I when I left Jamaica, it was because I was born here, but my mother passed in 2021. And my dad was
Wow.
like, yo, now I think is the time for you to move up to America because she had you in America for you to have the opportunity. Um,
Mhm.
and so what ended up happening was I moved in with my mother's side of the family because they live here,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
and everything was good for a while. I was training, but the environment wasn't, I didn't really know them that well. So the environment was kind of weird. I didn't know the people I lived with. And me and my aunt, I was sleeping on my aunt's couch. I worked at Wendy's 2 minutes away from the house. Everything was kind of okay. I was training. I left
Mm-hmm.
my
Mhm.
job at Wendy's, started working in a hotel. My aunt was like, I don't like coming out and seeing you on the couch every day because it makes her feel bad and she feels like she failed my mom. So she got me
Mhm.
a place to stay
Oh.
at my other aunt's house in a bedroom. I had a bed. Everything was chill. But I say this confidently, my aunt was crazy. She was insane. My other aunt was insane. So she
Wow.
would get super mad about everything. And like I asked her permission for things just to do stuff, and she would say yes, you know.
Mhm.
But then
Yeah.
she got mad at me because I asked her permission in the first place, which was super
Wow.
confusing because I'm like, why
Yeah.
would you tell me yes, even though you were
Mhm.
frustrated that I had asked in the first place? Why not just effectively communicate with me that you have this problem? But it's a
Yeah.
Jamaican people thing, like, and at the
It's a
point that I
Jamaican.
was at,
Come on.
bro,
The
at the
Jamaican
point,
thing.
brother, they're so fucking unreasonable. You know what I mean? So I was at the point, she was kind of like, she started to get frustrated because she lived with her son. Her son was kind of a bum and he was kind of an asshole too. And she would take that out on me. And one
Mhm.
thing led to another. One day I would train a lot. Like I was always training. I was barely in the house. I'd barely eat food there. So it was like she wasn't spending money on me. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I had a dog that I asked permission. Can I have a puppy? She said, yeah, I got a puppy. She didn't have to pay for the puppy, nothing. They didn't want to take care of the dog even when I had work. Fine, cool, whatever.
Wow.
Now,
Mhm.
one day she got mad at her son and she said, all of you guys have to leave because she chose to take up a bunch of people living in her house
Oh,
because
wow.
she wants to be a nice person. And
Mhm.
she got so mad one day. It was like she's kicking everybody out. One of the guys that lived there, shout out Dwayne. Dwayne just left because
Right.
Dwayne was like, fuck this. I'm leaving. He left. So it was just me and her son. And one day she said to her son, she cussed him out. And then she came
Mhm.
inside to tell me that, oh, I'm sending you back to live with your aunt. I'm thinking it's just an empty threat.
Yeah.
I'm doing what I do. I work. I kept asking them, do you want me to contribute to bills, groceries, whatever? They kept telling me no. They kept telling me no.
Mhm.
They don't need anything from me. They want me to focus on securing myself and they care about me and they love me. Brother,
Mhm.
one day I came home and she said, pack your things. I'm taking you back to Clivina, which is my other aunt. So I
Mhm.
packed my things and I'm going. I think they had this conversation. So I'm on my way there. It's like 11 p.m. at night.
Mhm.
She drops me
Wow.
off and then I go knock on the door. My aunt comes
Mhm.
out in her robe, like, what are you doing here? So I'm like, what you mean, what am I doing here? She said she was taking me back here. My aunt says, you can't stay here. Her husband comes out. He's like, yo, you can't stay here. So I'm standing in the driveway, like, guys, what's going on?
Mhm.
They're like, oh, we'll just send you back to Jamaica in 2 weeks. I'm like, send me back to Jamaica. Guys, I've been living here for 6 months at this point, 6, 7 months, almost a full year. You're
Yeah.
going to send me back to Jamaica. So I
How
called my
old are you
friend.
though? How old
Dude,
are you this?
I was like 21,
They talk
Wow.
about sending you back at 21?
bro. So I, because I just moved there too. I hadn't even been here
Yeah.
a year yet. So I called my friend because I helped him get a car. And I was
Mhm.
like, hey, bro, listen, this is crazy, but can I live in your car for a couple months while I try to sort this shit out? And he goes, yeah. So
Oh,
he comes, he
yo,
picks me
shout
up
out to
that
whoever
same
that
night.
guy is, man.
Brendan, shout out
Big up
Brendan.
to
That's
Shout
my
him.
out
guy.
to him, man.
Brendan and Tiny,
Big
they got
up, man.
married last year in April. Love them
Mhm.
so much, bro. They live. Well, we were supposed to live together. They live in Orlando now. I just didn't want to move up to Orlando, but we would have still been living together today if I had decided to move with them to Orlando.
Mhm.
But I wanted to stay down here, live in an apartment now with my partner, and yeah, we're chilling, man. But yeah,
Okay.
so while I was homeless for like 8 months. I ended up
Really?
living with Mike and his mom. Shout out to Mikey as well. Mikey and
Right.
his mom, and then I met Bria at my other job. Me and Bria got together, and then we saved up some money and we moved into this apartment. I've been living here ever since.
Wow. So you met the right
Yeah,
girl,
man.
I guess.
You said what? I'm
You met
sorry?
the right girl. You met the right
Yeah,
girl.
man. Yeah, man. I feel like where I'm at though in my life, that's a lot. That's a long story. That's a lot of personal stuff, but there's a lot of things
Yeah.
that are going on in my life still. And this is the
Mhm.
crazy thing with fighting too, bro. It's like you have to juggle a lot. You know what I mean? You have to
Mhm.
juggle a personal life, you have to juggle a work life. Right now, I'm a coach full time. I used to work at a call center. Now I coach full time. So it's a lot harder for me because my income is dependent solely on people wanting to train and if they have the time that week or that kind of thing. So it's been a little weird.
Mhm.
I keep having to readjust because you know how life is, right? You get settled somewhere and then you have to start over and change happens and
Right.
Mhm.
all that other stuff. But while all of that's going on, we're still fighting, we're still training, doing what we got
So
to do, you know?
before we actually close out, let me ask you this. So we really want to get this across. So tell the people what you do, where to find you, where you're at, and what you do. Because I know you do pad holding and you also coach. So tell them exactly where to find you and what places
Yes,
they can.
sir. My name
Yeah.
is ChrisAnthony Daley. You can find me on Instagram at MNRX dot zero FFICIAL. It's moonrocks.official, but you know, we spell it with a zero because my last account I got locked out. And yeah. But moonrocks.official, guys, and I'm a pad holder, I'm a videographer, I am a fighter, and I'm a coach. I'm not just a pad holder, I'm a coach. I'm a full-time coach. I'll study for you, I'll look into what you want to work on and we'll work on it. Yeah, man. I'm just a man.
Hey
I'm a
man,
guy. That's what we do.
let's go. So Chris, like as a fighter, man, what do you want your legacy to be? Like as soon as you go to decide, is it the UFC? You want to go to just do world championships? At the end of that, what's your arc? What do you want to be a coach at the end? Coaching other top fighters. What do you want your legacy to be?
That's a great question. I think initially I wanted to do the UFC, and eventually I might, but for right now, where I see my path going is world championships for sure. I really like striking, and I wanna focus on striking first. Like obviously I'll still train my grappling, but I wanna get multiple world championships as a striker. I want to go to one championship. I really do. I want to fight in one championship. I want to fight the ties up there.
Mhm.
Um, I want to fight for multiple different organizations, and I want to build a legacy of being a fighter that does unique shit that other people don't throw commonly. Like I like throwing weird techniques. I like throwing techniques from different martial arts. I did Taekwondo, I did boxing, I did kickboxing, I do Muay Thai. So there's different aspects of all of them. And I want to mix the striking aspect. I really am not much of a grappling fan. um,
Neither do
but
I.
I,
I can't stand it. I,
dude,
I
I
can't stand it.
I can watch Marab grapple because Marab will just pick somebody up, throw him, get up, pick him up, throw him down again, punch him a little bit, pick him up, throw him again. Like I can watch that. Like if you're ragdolling somebody, fuck yeah. But Yeah, no, I really want to get super good at striking, win some world championships. There's not as much money in striking, but I also want to
Mhm.
coach. I want to fight for karate combat. So when I do fight for karate combat, make sure that we can pull this video back up, let them know I called
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man.
We called it right here.
Yeah,
Called
dude.
it right here on the Next Level Nation.
Right here on Next Level Nations
Podcast.
podcast,
Yeah,
baby. Yeah, man.
yeah,
But
man.
yeah, I wanna build a legacy as one of the best strikers to ever do it of all time. I don't really care much about grappling.
Mhm.
That's just the truth. Yep, that's it, really.
So your game plan, last question, your game plan would have to be focusing on really your boxing, right, instead of your ground game. What would you say is like, of course, your boxing is much better than your ground game. You'd rather stay away from that because, in MMA, your ground game and your boxing have to be at a certain level. But you do Muay Thai, so it kind of has a combination. What percentage you think you have in terms of your ground game as a percentage of your up top boxing you feel is more stronger?
So I prepared for one MMA fight, and that guy pulled out on me. I've actually prepared for a couple fights, and guys have pulled out on me. Two MMA fights, and I did grappling for those camps. That was when I was back in Jamaica. That was years ago. When I practice grappling, I'm not bad. Like I will, and it is fun to some degree to like take people down. But it's just not as enjoyable for me. And like I said, I will train grappling because eventually the UFC is where the money's at, right? Like towards the end of in my 30s, like yeah, I want to get into the UFC, so I will have to be practicing grappling for that. But nah, man, before I get there, I like Alex Pereira, for example. You look at Pereira, bro. Pereira fought Glory Kickboxing for 10, 12 years. Like he was a champion kickboxer in multiple weight classes. Yeah,
Wow.
he was knocking dudes out, but I would love to just do stand up with people, stand and bang, boom, 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 knock people out.
Yeah.
I want to spend a
Pretty
lot.
stand up
Yeah, man,
lot.
I want to spend time knocking people out, bro. Like that's where I'm at right now. You see me? Oh, I got a shotgun
Knocking
tattooed
people
on my
out.
bro. I got a
Out.
shotgun on my arm, bro. That's This is the vibe right now. We're taking them out, bro. So yeah, I'm calling it right now. I'm knocking this next guy out. I feel it in my bones, in my soul. And yeah, we're just gonna train hard as much as we can and get people out of here from now on.
Nice,
Man,
nice.
you knocking them out like we trying to knock out these podcasts right here,
Hey,
man.
Yeah,
facts,
Right, you
baby.
knocking
know
them
what
out.
I'm saying?
Guys, next level podcast.
You
Fire,
heard me.
fire. Next level
You heard
nation
it.
podcast, baby. This
Moving
is
Yes,
right.
man.
first
Hey,
podcast I've ever been on. Fire, fire.
thank you, bro. Hey, we
Yo,
appreciate you, man, for coming on. Man, it was an honor, man, for you to Chris when you asked, you talked to me about Gabe and Tanner's, man.
Dude, I was
Man,
hyped.
it's
I
such
was
an
like,
honor.
what? This is amazing, dude. I love supporting people, bro. I love being a part of things as well. Just
Yeah,
because it's like anything I can do to help, I'd love to help because I know people will help me too. I'll be there for people, they're there for me. And I'm sure there's
yeah,
opportunity for everybody to grow within this space. So it's perfect,
yeah.
bro. We're all just springboarding each other at the end of the day, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Helping each other, uplifting each other. Because really, that's what the podcast is about. Like taking it to the next
right.
level, man. Every
Taking it
way.
to the next level, leveling up right
Yeah,
here
man.
on the
On
Next
the
Level
Next
Nation
Level
podcast.
Nation podcast.
That's
Chris
Oh
right,
yeah,
y'all.
baby.
Anthony. Woo.
Hey, peace,
Go.
Oh yeah, baby.
deuces.
Deuces, guys.
Deuces.